We'll continue with discussions back to the north with the abduction of 43 persons, mostly women and children, from the Maradun Local Government Area in Zamfara State. And joining us now to give us more insight on this, we're joined by the former Vice Chairman of the Zamfara Committee on Prosecution of Bandits and Related Offences, none other than Abdullahi Shinkafi. Well, Mr. Abdullahi, it's good to have you join us. Thank you so much for coming on. Let's just get started. What operational strategies do bandits typically employ in rural areas like the Maradun Local Government Area to have carried out abductions? I mean, just the details of it is quite shocking. 43 persons, and the head count started the following day, even though the attack happened in the morning, as early at the early hours of the morning.
Okay, first and foremost, let me make some little correction. My name is Dr. Abdullahi Shinkafi. I'm the Chairman Committee on Prosecution of Mandatory-related Offences, not Vice Chairman, please, for future appearance, please.
Our sincerest apologies, duly noted.
So the people of the rural community in Kakidawa of Gidan Goga ward in Maradun Local Government were kidnapped by armed bandits on Sunday about 2 a.m. The bandits have conducted house-to-house attack, which they kidnapped 43 women and children, and they were taken to their hideout. Up to now, the bandits have not made any contact to the affected families. So this is a horrible situation. This rural community have found themselves in the hands of this criminal element in ungoverned spaces, because Zamfara has a very vast land mass, and which Maradun is one of the local government that have a deep forest where these armed bandits have camped. And these armed bandits have been terrorizing this rural community for more than a decade. And the late armed bandit kingpin, one of the strongest, the wealthiest armed bandit kingpin, Halilu Sububu, is from Maradun Local Government. Most of these bandits are recruited and trained by the late armed bandit kidnapped kingpin, who was neutralized by the military during the Operation September this year. So I want to tell you, most of these outlaws, these outlaws, non-state actors, are occupying ungoverned space because of the porosity of the border and proliferation of smaller and lighter arms into the land border. And Maradun Local Government or Gidan Goga just is a share boundary with Zulmi Local Government. So, and Zulmi Local Government share boundary with the Niger Republic. So the porosity of the border of the ungoverned space, it is what gives more escalation of this armed banditry in Zamfara State. So it is very disheartening and heartbreaking. And maybe you may even heard that Lakurawa has also surfaced in Zamfara State, and they have been using explosives to attack bridges and motorists flying on the highway on unsaddled axis. So it's a very unfortunate situation. Booking local government worshippers have been kidnapped in more than 103 of the worshippers. Up to now, they have not contacted the families of the affected victims.
All right.
So this is disheartening.
Disheartening indeed. I mean, if one was to talk about the psychological impact on the community, on the survivors, and the the community at large with this mass abductions, it would be heartbreaking for the entire nation just to recount this impacts. But let's also talk about the effect of this on the socio-economic conditions of communities in rural areas like Maradun, and what is the committee doing to assist when such abductions happens when it comes to socio-economic conditions in communities like Maradun?
You see, I have been the chairman of the immediate past governor for the Committee for for Prosecution of Armed Bandit-related offences. But in the last administration, when this rural community are being attacked, what the governor did, that he gave emergency reliefs to these affected victims. You know, these criminals are engaging into kidnapping for ransom, rapes, armed banditry, cattle rustling, imposition of tax and levies to rural communities, even burning down properties and even silos by the rural communities. So what the government usually do, they give an emergency relief to these affected communities. So this is what the government did. But in terms of negotiation with the bandit, even this present administration doesn't negotiate ransom with the bandit, because negotiating ransom with the bandit is sustaining the armed banditry in Zamfara State. So this is a great challenge to the just recently confirmed Chief of Army Staff. He has to work in synergy with sister agencies to fight this menace in Zamfara State.
Now, sir, if you're still there, because let's just finally talk about, how the bandits in this region manage to operate with relative impunity. It's very important because from the news that we have here, they arrived at 2 a.m. on Sunday and they started head counts on Monday morning. And so one has to ask, how are they able to operate with such relative impunity despite the presence of security forces or security vigilantes and the like?
You see, the issue of this banditry has turned to economic enterprise, and it has a lot of a value chain where some locals are being trained to be given a valid information or information to this armed bandit as their informants. So there are some also unscrupulous security agencies, traditional rulers, who are aiding and abetting this armed banditry. So this is the situation. The bandits are operating with impunity, and the presence of the security personnel is so minimal because these security agents have been overburdened, overstretching, and they are also under-equipped and understaffed. So these are some of the impediments, some of the difficulties this security are facing. With all the deployment of the security personnel in Zamfara State, the ungoverned spaces are very large. Zamfara has a very big land mass, and for the security to curtail all this fight, there is need for more deployment of the security agencies. This is the truth of the matter. And they put together all the security, including police, civil defense, army. Put together, they are not up to 5,000 or 4 to 5,000. And the ungoverned space is very large, very vast. And you see, Zulmi Local Zamfara has some communities that share border with Niger Republic. Shinkafi Local Government share border with Niger Republic. Zulmi Local Government share border with Niger Republic. So a proximity of the border and ungoverned space where these non-state actors operate, it can easily smuggle arms and ammunition into Zamfara State and into Katsina State, into Sokoto State, into Kebbi State. And they will continue to perpetrate this crime where, you understand, with impunity. This is the challenges. The security agencies need to be fully funded, need to be motivated, not to be fully trained. And there is need for the present chief of army staff to change the tactics of this operation from conventional security operation to technological advanced way of fighting this crime. Because most of these hideouts are not motorable, it's inaccessible. So there is need to deploy jet fighters and other technological means to fight this crime.
All right. I mean, we must say thank you so much for taking out the time to just have this discussion with us. We do hope that the 43 women and children are found and safely returned to their families and their relatives. So once again, thank you so much for the discussion.
Thank you. God bless you.